All right, my friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brian, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about side hustles for expats, whether that's trading and investing, or that's working a remote job while living or traveling abroad. Now, what path you take and what makes sense to you will be determined by what options are available to you. Okay, that is, can you secure a remote job while you're traveling internationally or even living abroad? Right? Are you living in one place at a time, or can you do a remote job while being on the road? These are some questions you need to start asking yourself. Okay. Now, in regards to trading and investing, do you have the financial capital to invest to make this option a viable option? Okay. So you need basically money to make money in that case, right? Now, there's a lot of questions here, my friends. So let's go ahead and jump into this topic and see what options are available for expats to build a side hustle while they're traveling and living abroad. Okay, so let's first understand the core differences between these two. Now, a remote job, this can provide you with a active, predictable income source, okay? Oftentimes, the earnings that you may be accustomed to from maybe your prior career is not gonna be as high, okay? But again, as your lifestyle changes, okay, this could provide an income stream, okay, that could offset some of your bills while you're traveling abroad. So that's kind of what you want to look at. You're probably not going to replace your prior career, but you may be able to actually earn some cash flow that's going to help you living abroad. Now, as for trading and investing, well, it can offer scalability, something you may not have with an online job. And it's something that you can do on and off without a fixed schedule and can also provide you with passive income if you're kind of set it up correctly, okay? However, if you are taking on, basically, with trading and investing, you are taking on more risk, okay? Your income can be less predictable, okay? Unlike receiving a steady paycheck from a job, it can be less predictable. And it can take you years of study and to build up any kind of long-term profitability. So there is trade-offs here. So while trading may look attractive in the beginning, what you rarely see from the successful traders is the mass amount of time, energy, and work that they have put into building their craft to build up their trading skills so they're profitable. And to jump into this world of trading and investing, you will need to have a reasonable amount of capital to invest in a brokerage account. So whether you're trading that or you're getting dividend returns, you're still going to have a significant amount of capital you're going to have to put in. Whereas remote work can offer another path by using your skills that you've built over time, and it can provide a steady income and can help you maintain your professional relationships and can also help you support a lifestyle while you're living abroad. So you can keep those connections, maybe even with the prior firm that you've worked for, you can do some remote work for them, okay? Now, I want to point out a few key notes here, okay? Working a remote job abroad, okay, this is where you need to be cautious about the countries that you're traveling and living in, okay? Specifically related to the visa requirements, okay? Most tourist visas will not allow you to work in most countries. That is, if you're performing a job and you're taking away a job or an opportunity for a local resident, that is usually not allowed unless you have a specific work visa for that country. This is why remote work is a great option if you still have connections with your prior company in your home country, okay? Or if you're doing work for an employer back in your home country or another foreign employer outside of the country that you're currently residing in or traveling in. All right, so that's something you want to kind of keep in mind, okay? And this can get very complicated, not to mention the different tax implications. So do your research before you're jumping into this remote work and ask yourself a couple things. Are you authorized to work under the visa type you have for that country, okay? And what are your tax implications, right? So if you wind up living in a country for, sometimes it's over like 183 days or 180 days or something, you could become considered a local tax resident, and that could cause some problems. So if you're either working in a country or traveling abroad, these are some questions you want to look into if you're going to basically be doing a side hustle and earning some capital, especially from a job. Now, in some countries, your degree, right, or your professional skills can actually be, can lead to a temporary or even permanent visa for that specific country. For example, one country I was looking at was Ecuador, and they offer what's called the professional visa for those with a bachelor's degree or higher, okay? So they have a specific visa for that, and you send in your degrees, and you can qualify for a temporary visa specifically for that country based on your education. Now, while other countries may consider your professional skills or your advanced degrees as another gateway to enter working in that country, which again can lead to other visa options. For example, I've seen this abroad. If you, let's say you're a medical professional, okay, or you have, you're a professor, or you have a specialized skill set, and a critical skill that is lacking within that country, okay, that you may be considering retiring in, this could be a great option for you and lead to other visa options, okay? You could move to that specific country and work in that critical skill industry, right, and establish yourself there locally, then transition into retirement, okay? This can be an excellent pathway towards transitioning from your career in your home country, okay, moving abroad, using that same skill set for a few more years, okay, while establishing roots in that next country, and then you build up basically a good salary, and then you step into retirement, and that visa option can follow you all the way through that process. I've seen people do that where they have done exactly that. They're like college professors and they've moved to another country, they taught there for another couple of years, and then all of a sudden they wind up retiring in that country. It's a very great stepping stone into that lifestyle. Now, speaking of lifestyle, let's go ahead and look at that. Let's talk about your time commitments when it comes to lifestyle, right? Let's go ahead and dive into that next, all right? So your lifestyle as an expat should determine which suits you better, okay? Where are you in your career? Do you still have another 5 or 10 years before retirement? Or are you already into retirement now, okay? So if you're younger and you're still in your career field, you know, are you doing the digital nomad thing? Are you working abroad? Or are you trading and investing? What are you doing, okay? Or are you already in retirement and you're just saying, hey, I like, I'm kind of bored, I want to basically get back into the workforce, maybe earn some money on the side? That's another option, all right? Now, with remote work, this option, again, can give you that predictable schedule, all right? And some positions, I mean, you can work at your own pace and set your own hours, but a lot of times, at least, again, it can give you more predictability, okay? This allows you to plan your schedule around your work hours, so while you're basically, you know, providing yourself a little bit of extra income, you still have time for retirement, and you can plan trips, plan schedules around it, okay? So remote work is very much structured in that capacity, right? Now with trading and investing, let's be honest here, all right? You may think, well, I just need to put a few hours in a day, and yes, if you're basically doing passive investment, that's correct, okay? But honestly, with real trading and investing, it can always feel like you're on. You're always studying. You're always looking at trade analysis. You're always improving your skills. You're looking at market conditions. It's an ongoing thing. So it's not as predictable as you may think. And many who go down this path will tell you exactly that. They will tell you that, look, it is a lot of work, okay? Now in trading, you might think you can just, you know, check the markets, you know, for once an hour and you're done. But that's not how it works if you really want to be successful, specifically if you're doing day trading or intraday or multi-day swing trading or options or something, okay? Trading requires you to be consistently aware of the market conditions, news events, earning reports, economic indicators, all these other factors that could come into play. Again, now if you're just passively investing, that's one thing, but I'm specifically talking a lot here about day trading. Okay, it can feel like you really have a second job and it never stops. Okay, so the upside seems really exciting. It seems, you know, hey, I can do this from anywhere. But again, it can be more challenging than having just a simple remote job, basically where you show up, you do a few hours, you go away and you unplug. And here's the thing, you don't need to be some day trading guru, some financial expert or anything like that. You can just focus again on learning basically how to manage your long-term investments, okay? You don't have to be, you know, taking risk in the market, you know, day trading, stuff like that. You can put your money to work for you. But the thing is to understand and take the time, right, to understand your own investments, right? So if you already have a fund that's already investing for you, great, but look into it. Kind of maybe see what better options there may be there, okay? So here's my recommendation. Do both if you can, okay? Bridge the gap between them over time, okay? You don't need to choose one or the other, okay? If you can come up with a combination of both and leverage your earnings from your job, okay, and potentially grow them with investments or trading over time, that's a great option to do. And I think that's the kind of the path most people take, okay? They will, you know, take their investments, let them work for them while they're still getting a little bit of side hustle going on, okay? So look at trading basically as an expensive hobby with a strict budget limit, okay? And you're investing time and energy into building up that skill set, right? While also taking the time basically to, you know, maybe get a side hustle, maybe get something on the side to where you're earning a little bit of revenue that can offset some of your expenses while you're living abroad. So there you have it, my friends. I hope this video was helpful, give you kind of some insight into kind of what side hustles, you know, some expats are doing. So let's go ahead and chat about this in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, my friends. Take care. Cheers.